bear market rally is imminent as prices are about to break higher. I'm your host, Steve Van Metre, and thanks for joining me for part one of the Sunday Chart Show, where we look at the technicals and momentum of the S&P 500, Nasdaq 100, Russell 2000, and junk bonds. Let's kick things off with the S&P 500. We start out every week with the breadth indicators. We want to see participation when stocks move higher, and here we're seeing the percentage of S&P 500 stocks above their 50-day moving average, just shy of 30%. Now remember, this is a bullish trend as this number goes up. It's bearish when it's heading down, and note we can see the trend is headed higher. In fact, we see the breadth is leading prices higher. That's exactly what you want to see, is more stocks inside the S&P 500 crossing over their 15-day moving average, indicating bullish trend, stocks to move higher, and notice it's leading higher. That is a good sign. Now let's zoom out to the 200-day moving average, because using the same logic, the only difference here is when you're above the 200-day moving average, the stock's considered to be in a bull market. In this case, 23% of the S&P 500 is in a bull market. That's very weak, and that's a good sign for traders looking to come in and buy the dip. The rest of it, of course, below is in a bear market. And notice the participation here, not quite as strong as we saw in the 50-day moving average, and there's a reason for that. That's because the market is down so much that what's happened here is the 200-day moving average is well above the 50. It's going to take some time here, but at least it's moving higher. That is exactly, it's not perfect. It's not as great as we'd like to see it, but it is a good trend to see breadth here also moving higher. Historically, where are traders looking to take this? Because if we zoom now out to the historical percentage of the S&P 500 stocks above their 200-day moving average, you're looking from these deep levels, oversold levels. We can go back in history. They're looking for a minimum move to see 50% or more of the S&P 500 break over its 200-day moving average. That would be a huge move for stocks. Now let's take a look at the momentum indicators. We have the relative strength indicator, or RSI. What I want to see is a number over 40 means momentum is positive. We've got a number of 50. It came down from this oversold, or went up from this oversold level near 30. 30 is the indication of oversold. See, it's rising here. When it breaks over 40, momentum starts to build. It's positive, and notably, price is falling. You want to see these two in sync. When there's deviations, that could be an issue. When they're in sync, that is a great sign. How about the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence strategy, or as I like to say, it's a crossover strategy? Because what we're looking for is the black line, the MACD, to have a positive cross through the signal line or the red line. And notably, what are we seeing? We talked about this potential bottoming out process here. It did. We had a positive cross, and again, another momentum indicator leading higher. That's exactly what you want to see. Now, when we look at Momentum Timer Pro, for those of you who are not signed up for this, it's still free. Why you're not on the list, I don't know. You're also now getting Jeff Snyder's daily research and deep dive for a limited time, also for free. Talking about a bargain in the financial online space here. Now, 8 days ago, this triggered a buy signal. We'll talk about this on the charts here in a moment, but the buy signals are generated when you have two of the three confirming RSI over 40, positive cross on the MACD, or its own internal signal giving a positive signal as well. That is a good sign. 8 days of buy signals. Notably, we're still in a downtrend, and this is the issue here. We're going to talk about this. The 6-month signal, none. 3-month signal, none. Tells you it's in a downtrend. This is the early stages of a bottom. We see the 1-month signal move to a minimum position size. Let's take a look at the broader picture. We'll get into the charts here in a moment. Price on the moving averages is bearish. It means they're all headed down. That's not what you want to see in a bottoming pattern. You want to see them trending higher. Momentum also to the downside, not what you want to see, but some early positive indicators. We're now above the 21-day moving average. Otherwise, it's below everywhere it's been over the last 1, 3, 6, 9, and 12 months. Not exactly great signs, because again, you're looking for a bottom. Bottoms take time. Everyone thinks you have to have these big V-shaped bottoms. They do take time. And what do we see on the price? You notice it came down to the supply zone. We'll zoom out a little bit. Maybe this will help. Came down into the supply zone, found buyers, and I said it would rally up. It did. Hit supply zone, found sellers, came down to the top end of the supply zone, found buyers. Positive sign. It's right now into the supply zone, looking to move higher. How do you know these are supply zones? Look at where the volume is traded. Notice we've got the volume profile turned on. Last 2 years, sellers are way up here And even at the 6-month window, sellers are above. But how do you think, if we look at this chart, where is the opportunity? How could there be a bear market rally? Well, remember, we've talked about potential move into this higher supply zone up here. Notice how the volume is fairly light in between here. There is a zone, and maybe I've got the charts on the wrong spot. Maybe we need to make a minor adjustment to that, but they're somewhere right. I think maybe they need to move down a little bit, but nevertheless, if we zoom out on the 6-month chart, we need to drop these down just a little bit because we need to account for where that volume is at. And so your charts will morph a little bit, but that's fine. That's exactly what you need to do. All right, let's look at the 90-day volume profile. Notice sellers are above in this zone. Now we see the zone is now that we move the lines, it looked a lot better, doesn't it? Now let's look at 30 days. See how buyers are coming in below? That's your big indicator of what's going on here. Why people are bullish on stocks. They're coming in and buying, looking to take this higher. That's your indicator right there. All right, let's go on to tech stocks now. Similar story here. And what do we see? Of course, percentage of the Nasdaq 100 stocks above their 50-day moving average at 48%. Notice, again, breadth leading price higher. This is a great sign. This is what you want to see. How about we zoom out to the 200-day moving average? It's moving higher. So more of tech stocks are coming in back into bull market mode. They're getting over their 200-day moving average, is sitting at 23%. That's bringing price higher. That's, again, a great sign. Again, we're looking for a big move here. This is what traders want. This is what the market wants. It wants to see a big move higher in stocks here. They're looking to see the breadth here moving upward of the 50 to 60% range. How about your momentum indicators? They look good. Look at the RSI. It's at 53, so we know it's above 40. Didn't get to oversold condition, but it still got close. It moved higher. Price going with it. That's great. How about the MACD? Came down. Notice this again. This is a lagging indicator, which it should be, and it started to form a bottom and move higher. Price goes with it. That's great. How about Momentum Timer Pro? 9 consecutive days here of buy signals in a downtrend. In fact, we need to talk about that. In fact, there was another signal that came on the report. If you were on this report on Thursday, one of the best signals it ever generates, there's a certain kind of setup it gives. On platinum, look up that. I think it's PALL is a symbol. It triggered on Thursday if you bought it at open, and you have a very nice 9% plus return if you follow the signal. That's what momentum research is designed to do. That's what momentum timer is designed to do. Find things you don't look at and give you the entry point. How about the price on the Nasdaq 100? It's bearish, momentum bearish, but it's back above its 50-day moving average. This is a good sign. These are early signs of what you want to see. Now, let's go over the charts. I want to point something out on SPY before we go too far. If you're wondering about the 8-day signals, that triggered somewhere right here on the 27th. So you notice the price is below. So you say, wait a minute, how's this momentum thing? It doesn't seem to work. Well, here's what's interesting about Momentum Timer Pro. When you're in a downtrend, you see visibly moving average, the 21-day, 50-day, 100-day heading lower. When you see these momentum signals turn to buy, the actual high probability in a downtrend is to be short. I don't know why, but the back testing validates it. In an uptrend, of course, this flip to a buy signal means go long, but notably that would have triggered actually a sell signal on the short side, and it played out because we're not at a bottom. How do you know? The moving averages haven't flattened out yet. We're not there. How about the QQQ? Notice it came back up. Just touched this 50-day moving average. I'm not sure why it says, that's because we're on, wait till you see the Monday report where it'll probably update and show it slightly below the 50-day moving average. But notably, it went back up. And of course, what's happening here now is if we zoom into the 30-day window, what do you see? Buyers below. That's what you're looking for. And now, of course, where do we think this is headed? Well, there's a bit of a supply zone. And again, these lines are starting to move a little bit here. Let's go out to the 90-day, and you're seeing a little bit of a supply zone right in here. In fact, we can move this line now. You see a supply zone as the volume points out there. Move this one down just a little bit. There's your supply zone. There's your initial upside move on QQQ. So perfect. There's your first move. Next move will be higher. We'll adjust that as time goes on. And we can see that would be a positive move over the 50-day moving average. You'd probably run into sellers there and see it come down to the top of this supply zone. At that point, you'd see the moving averages flatten out. That is exactly what you'd want to see in a bottom. All right, let's go on to, of course, the Russell 2000. Small caps, what do we see with the breadth? Again, same story. Breadth, percentage of the Russell 2000 over its 15-day moving average, somewhere right under 40%, moving higher, taking price up. That's leading price higher. That's fantastic. Only 18% are above their 200-day moving average. Is starting to move higher a bit. That's a positive sign. Again, historically, market's looking for a big move here. Again, with the breadth going much higher. How about the RSI? It's over 40. It's sitting at just shy of 51. So momentum's building. Again, these are all the signals you want to see. Positive cross on the MACD. Momentum is building. How about momentum time pro? 8 days. Again, it's really good in a downtrend and identifying the first short side signal. And then, of course, you have to look at the charts to find the next buy signal of the supply zones. That's why we do the show. Price bearish to the downside, momentum bearish, just popped up above its 21-day moving average. Let's take a look at IWM here. And you see it's flirting with the supply zone. It came down here, hit the top end of the zone, bounced off of the 50-day moving average, came down in deeper into the supply zone, found buyers again, came up to the 21-day, came down, found buyers toward the top end of that supply zone. And now it's kind of flirting with that 50-day moving average. It's trying to bottom out here. And so it could be actually one more move down to hold and make this bottom complete. But again, you're seeing early stages of a bottom here, quite pretty, and that is, again, good sign for your bear market bottom. Let's look at the 30-day volume profile, and notably, this is where buyers are at. So don't be surprised if you see price come down and buyers come in. That just gives you more confidence in entering position. And of course, we should see Momentum Time Pro stack up those buy signals and give stronger signals on the 1 and 3 month to come. How about junk bonds? Well, even they're starting to turn around from deeply oversold conditions after a rally just got blown apart. You notice that momentum's building against. People are coming in buying junk bonds. They love these things. Price is going with it. RSI just shy of 50. How about the MACD? Nice little positive cross here. So again, validation on the price trend. And as far as Momentum Time Pro, well, you'll get your next report on Monday when you sign up. Price bearish to the downside. And again, there's guidebooks, there's videos on how to use it. You just got to take a little bit of time. Just try to understand it. It's still free for now, so enjoy it. Once it goes paid, we'll be able to give a lot deeper advice than we're doing now. Momentum to the downside above the 21-day moving average. What do we see here on HYG? Where it's right here. And notably, we'll zoom into the 30-day volume profile. Buyers, there you go. You're seeing risk assets building up buyers, hoping for a big earnings season, and that could come soon. Look for this to get rejected off his 50-day moving average one more time, as the moving average would then need to start bottoming out to give you even more confidence that this thing's headed higher. And with that, I'm Steve Van Metre, and thanks for watching part 1. We'll see you for part 2 here in a bit. Thanks for watching. Bye now.